Oppenheimer. In 1926, 22-year-old doctoral student J. Robert Oppenheimer studies under experimental physicist Patrick Blackhead at the Cavendish Laboratory in Cambridge. Oppenheimer suffers from homesickness and anxiety and struggles doing the required lab work. Oppenheimer, upset with the demanding Blackhead, leaves him a poison-laced apple, but retrieves it. Visiting scientist Niels Bohr is impressed enough by Oppenheimer's intellect to recommend that he should instead study theoretical physics in Germany, where Oppenheimer completes his PhD. He later meets theoretical physicist Werner Heisenberg at a conference in Switzerland. Oppenheimer returns to the United States, wanting to expand quantum physics research there. He begins teaching at the University of California, Berkeley and the California Institute of Technology, starting with one student. He meets his future wife, Catherine Kitty Puening, a biologist and ex-communist, and also has an intermittent affair with Jean Tatlock, a member of the Communist Party USA, until her suicide a few years later. In 1938, Nazi Germany's progress in nuclear fission research spurs Oppenheimer and his colleagues to replicate their results. Leo Szilard and Albert Einstein then write to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning of atomic weaponry's catastrophic potential. In 1942, amid World War II, U.S. Army General Leslie Groves recruits Oppenheimer to lead the Manhattan Project to develop an atomic bomb. After Oppenheimer's assurances he has no communist sympathies, Oppenheimer, who is Jewish, is particularly driven by the Nazis potentially completing their nuclear weapons program, headed by Heisenberg. Oppenheimer assembles a scientific team including Edward Teller and Isidor Isaac Rabi in Los Alamos, New Mexico, to secretly create the bomb. Oppenheimer collaborates with scientists Enrico Fermi and David L. Hill, and he and Einstein discuss how an atomic bomb risks triggering an unstoppable chain reaction that could destroy the world. After Germany surrenders, some project scientists question the bomb's relevance, and with targeting civilian areas, Oppenheimer counters the targets are military sites, and the war in the Pacific will be ended. The Trinity test is successful, and President Harry S. Truman orders Hiroshima and Nagasaki to be bombed, forcing Japan's surrender. Oppenheimer is thrust into the public eye as the father of the atomic bomb, but the immense destruction and mass fatalities haunt him. He urges Truman to restrict further nuclear weapon development, but the president rejects Oppenheimer's advice, considering him weak. As an advisor to the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, Oppenheimer advocates against further nuclear research, especially the hydrogen bomb proposed by Teller. His stance becomes a point of contention amid the tense Cold War with the Soviet Union. Chairman Lewis Strauss has long resented Oppenheimer for publicly dismissing his concerns regarding the export of radioisotopes, and for recommending arms talks with the Soviet Union.